Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You ready to jump into something fun today?
Always.
All right, so today we're looking at building a website for custom apparel,
Cool.
which is something I know a lot of you are thinking about or maybe even working on already.
Yeah.
And we found this really awesome article by Site Design NOW.
Okay.
It's called Essential Features for a Successful Custom Apparel Website Design. And they're a web design company based in Australia.
Gotcha.
So I thought it'd be cool to kind of take a deep dive into this article and see what they have to say
Sounds good.
about what makes a custom apparel website really successful.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I mean, some of this stuff is like really cool. You're talking about things like interactive design tools where customers can actually design their own clothes
Wow.
right on your site. And then, how to use customer testimonials to kind of build that trust and credibility, especially if you're a new brand.
Right. Yeah.
So there's some really good stuff in here.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm really excited to kind of dig in and get your take on it.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. I've been working in e-commerce and web design for quite a few years now, and I've seen firsthand what works and what doesn't. So I'm excited to share some of that knowledge with you guys today.
Awesome. All right, so let's jump right in. This article really emphasizes the importance of those interactive design tools,
Yep.
which I think is just such a cool concept, letting customers become their own fashion designers right on your site.
Yeah.
The article even talks about letting them upload logos and choose fonts and colors, and all sorts of things to really personalize their pieces.
It's amazing what you can do with technology these days, right?
No, it's incredible.
I mean, this is something that just wasn't possible
Right.
a few years ago,
Right.
and now it's becoming increasingly common. I think it really speaks to this larger trend of personalization in e-commerce.
Yeah.
Consumers today, they want to express their individuality. They want to feel like they're creating something unique.
Absolutely. And especially with clothing, it's such a personal thing, right?
Totally.
Like it's an extension of yourself. So being able to actually design a piece that reflects your personality and your style, I mean, that's super appealing.
It is.
And it's a great way for businesses to differentiate themselves in a really crowded market.
Absolutely.
So how do you see these interactive design tools evolving in the future? Like, where do you think this technology is headed?
That's a great question. I think we'll see even more sophisticated tools that allow for even greater customization.
Wow.
Like imagine being able to see a 3D model
Right.
of your design and virtually try it on
Oh my God.
before you even place your order.
That would be a game changer.
Right. It would definitely eliminate a lot of the guesswork that comes with online shopping.
Yeah. And potentially reduce those returns too. Because people would be more confident about what they're ordering. Okay, so we've got them hooked with these awesome design tools. They're excited about creating their custom pieces. But what's the next step? How do we make sure they're actually confident about hitting that buy button?
Well, that's where the detailed product listings come in.
Okay.
This is something that Site Design NOW really emphasizes in their article. They talk about the importance of providing crystal clear descriptions, multiple high-resolution images, even mentioning things like fabric weight and care instructions, basically leaving no room for guessing games.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to make sure that people know exactly what they're getting before they click that purchase button.
Right. And I think this is especially important for a new brand.
Okay, why is that?
Well, because you haven't built up that trust and reputation yet. So you need to go the extra mile to prove to potential customers that you're legitimate and that you're committed to quality. Detailed product listings are a great way to do that.
So it's all about building trust and transparency.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got them designing, we've got them feeling confident about what they're buying. But what about that extra little nudge? That little bit of reassurance that this is the right decision.
I see where you're going with this.
That's where those customer testimonials come in, right?
Absolutely.
They're like gold, especially in a market like Australia, where word of mouth is so strong.
It's true.
Seeing real people rave about your products, it gives potential buyers that extra confidence, especially if they're unfamiliar with your brand.
Right.
It's like a virtual stamp of approval.
Exactly. It's social proof.
Okay, so how can someone building a custom apparel website really make the most of those testimonials?
Well, first of all, you need to actually collect them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Encourage your customers to leave reviews, maybe offer a small incentive, like a discount on their next
That's
purchase.
smart.
And then once you have those testimonials,
Yeah.
don't be shy about showcasing them.
Okay, where should they put them?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
On your homepage, on your product pages on your social media, even in your email marketing.
It's like sprinkle them throughout the entire website.
Exactly. Make them visible and easy to find because they're powerful.
I like that.
And don't be afraid to get creative with them.
Okay, what do you mean?
Go beyond simple text reviews.
Yeah.
Consider using video testimonials
Oh, that's a great idea.
or even incorporating user-generated content, like real customers showing off their custom creations.
That's awesome. It adds that layer of authenticity.
It does.
All right, so we've got design tools, detailed listings, social proof. It's all coming together, but I feel like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, we've got a lot more to cover.
There's so much more to explore.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, we've talked about a lot of the foundational elements of a successful custom apparel website.
Right.
But the world of e-commerce is constantly evolving.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's important to stay ahead of the curve and be aware of the trends that are shaping the future.
Okay, so what trends are you seeing that someone building a custom apparel website should be paying attention to?
Well, one of the most exciting trends right now is the rise of augmented reality.
Augmented reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like in the world of custom apparel?
Well, imagine a customer being able to try on a shirt virtually, right on your website using their phone or computer.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Right. It's like having a virtual fitting room.
But is that technology really ready for prime time? I mean, is it more than just a cool gimmick?
I think it's definitely moving beyond the gimmick stage. The technology is becoming more sophisticated and accessible, and it's offering real value to both retailers and shoppers.
Okay, so how so?
Well, when it comes to apparel, augmented reality can help customers visualize how clothes will actually look and fit on them,
Oh,
which could lead to fewer returns and happier customers.
That makes a lot of sense because I know I've definitely been hesitant to buy clothes online. I'm not sure how they're going to fit. So being able to actually see it on myself virtually, that would be a game changer.
It would. And I think we're going to see more and more brands adopting this technology
Yeah.
in the coming years.
Okay, so augmented reality, that's one trend to watch. Are there any others?
Another trend that's gaining momentum, particularly in Australia,
Okay.
is the focus on sustainability.
Sustainability.
All
Okay, so what does that mean? For someone building a custom apparel website.
Well, consumers are becoming more environmentally conscious, and they want to support brands that align with their values.
Right, so how can someone building a custom apparel website incorporate sustainability into their business model?
Well, it starts with transparency.
Transparency.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Clearly communicate your commitment. To sustainability on your website, highlight the use of eco-friendly materials, ethical manufacturing processes, even things like, carbon-neutral shipping options. Don't be afraid to tell your sustainability story. I like that, tell your sustainability story. Because it's not just about doing the right things, it's also about letting people know that you're doing them.
Exactly.
Okay, so transparency is key. What else can someone do to make their custom apparel website more sustainable?
Well, think about ways to reduce waste.
Okay, how?
Offer made-to-order options to minimize overproduction. Partner with suppliers who share your sustainability values. Even small changes can make a difference.
Right, it all adds up.
It does.
Okay, so we've got augmented reality and sustainability. On our radar, what about the marketing side of things?
Ah, yes, marketing, the lifeblood of any business.
Okay, so how can someone get the word out about their awesome new custom apparel website?
Well, there are so many creative and effective strategies to explore. Social media is a fantastic place to start.
Social media makes sense, especially for a visual product like clothing,
Right.
but it's so crowded. How do you stand out from the noise?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is.
But I think the key is to create high-quality, engaging content that really showcases your brand's personality.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Well, think stunning product photos, engaging videos, even behind-the-scenes content. That gives people a glimpse into your brand's story.
Because people love stories.
They do.
Okay, so we're rocking social media, but what about influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing can be a powerful tool.
But it seems like everyone's doing it these days.
Yeah.
So how do you make it work for you?
Well, I think the key is to be strategic,
Strategic. Okay.
but don't just go after the biggest names.
Yeah.
with most followers.
So don't just chase popularity.
Exactly. Choose influencers who genuinely align with your brand values and whose audience overlaps with your target market.
Okay, so it's about finding the right fit.
It is. Authenticity is key.
I like that. Okay, so we've covered social media influencers. What about content marketing?
Content marketing is a great way to establish yourself as a thought leader in the industry.
Okay, so what kind of content are we talking about?
Well, think blog posts, videos, infographics, anything that provides value to your target audience.
So it's about becoming a resource, a go-to source for information about custom apparel.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then, of course, there's email marketing.
Yes, email marketing. The old, reliable.
Is this still relevant in today's world of social media and instant messaging?
Absolutely.
Really?
Email allows you to stay in touch with your customers,
Yeah.
nurture those relationships, and share news, promotions, and even personalized recommendations.
So it's like having a direct line to your customers' inboxes.
It is.
Okay, so email marketing is still a must-do. What about SEO?
SEO, search engine optimization. It's essential for any website that wants to be found online.
Okay, so can you break that down for me? What exactly is SEO?
Well, it's all about optimizing your website so that search engines like Google can easily find and understand it.
Okay, and why is that important?
Because when people search for custom apparel online, you want your website to show up at the top of the search results.
Right, so it's about visibility.
It is. The higher you rank in the search results, the more likely people are to find you.
And the more likely they are to become customers.
Exactly.
Okay, so SEO is definitely something to prioritize. What about the legal side of things?
Yes, the legal stuff. It's not the most exciting topic, but it's crucial.
Okay, so what kind of legal considerations should someone building a custom apparel website be thinking about?
Well, first and foremost, you need to make sure you're compliant with all relevant laws and regulations, particularly in Australia, where consumer protection laws are quite robust.
Okay, so what does that entail?
Well, for starters, you need to have clear and concise terms of service.
Okay. And what about a privacy policy?
You absolutely need a privacy policy. That outlines how you collect, use, and protect customer data.
Okay, so terms of service and privacy policy, those are must-haves.
They are.
But where do I even begin with creating those documents?
Well, it's always a good idea to consult with a legal professional who specializes in e-commerce. They can help you draft these documents in a way that's compliant with Australian law and protects your business.
Okay, so it's worth the investment to get professional legal advice.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've covered marketing, legal considerations, anything else?
Well, we can't forget about customer service.
Yes, customer service, the heart and soul of any business.
It's so important, especially in the online world.
Why is that?
Because in the online world, you don't have those face-to-face interactions, so you need to go the extra mile to build relationships with your customers.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Well, it starts with responsiveness.
Responsiveness.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means responding to customer inquiries promptly and efficiently, whether they're reaching out via email, social media, or live chat.
So no matter how they're contacting you, you need to be on top of it.
You do.
Okay, and what about dealing with negative feedback?
Negative feedback is inevitable, but it's how you handle it. That really matters.
So what's the best way to handle it?
Respond to negative feedback professionally and politely, and try to resolve the issue to the customer's satisfaction.
Even if you can't make everyone happy, you can at least show that you care.
Exactly. And that you're listening.
Okay, so customer service is all about building relationships.
It is. And those relationships are built on trust, communication, and empathy.
I like that trust, communication, and empathy. Those are the pillars of great customer service.
They are.
And, you know, as we've been talking about all these different aspects of building a custom apparel website, one word keeps coming to mind.
Ooh, what's that?
Agility.
Agility.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, so what do you mean by agility in the context of building an online business?
Well, I think it means being able to adapt quickly to change.
Because the online world is constantly changing.
It is. What works today might not work tomorrow.
So you need to be flexible.
Yeah.
And willing to pivot.
Exactly.
Okay, so how can someone cultivate that agility in their business?
Well, it starts with data.
Data.
You need to be tracking your metrics, analyzing your results, and using that information to make informed decisions.
So data is like your compass.
It is. It helps you navigate the ever-changing landscape of e-commerce.
Okay, so what kind of metrics should someone be tracking?
Well, website traffic is a big one. You want to know how many people are visiting your site.
Yeah?
and where they're coming from.
Right. That tells you if your marketing efforts are working.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
Conversion rates. How many of those visitors are actually making a purchase?
Ah, yes. That's the bottom line.
It is. You need to be converting those visitors into customers.
Okay. And are there any other metrics that are important to track?
Well, you can also look at things like average order value, customer lifetime value, and return customer rate.
So it's about getting a holistic view of your business performance.
It is.
Okay, so we're tracking our data, but what about customer feedback?
Customer feedback is invaluable. It can tell you what you're doing well and what you need to improve.
So how do we gather that feedback?
Well, you can send out surveys, encourage reviews, monitor social media comments.
Okay, so there are lots of different avenues for gathering feedback. And once we have that feedback, what do we do with it?
Act on it.
Act on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So make changes to our website, our products, our processes based on what our customers are telling us.
Exactly.
So agility is all about being responsive, both to data and to customer feedback.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about everything, from design tools to sustainability to marketing to legal considerations to customer service to agility.
Well, that's a lot.
It is, but it's all so important for anyone who's serious about building a successful custom apparel website.
I agree.
You know, thinking back to that article from Site Design and Now W, I remember they emphasized the importance of having a website that's not only beautiful and functional, but also adaptable.
They did, and they highlighted the importance of partnering with a web design company.
That understands the ever-changing landscape of e-commerce. That makes sense because things are always changing in the online world.
They are. New technologies emerge, trends shift, consumer expectations evolve.
You need a website that can keep up. So finding the right web design partner is crucial for anyone serious about building a successful custom apparel website.
I couldn't agree more.
It's amazing, right? All the stuff that goes into building a successful custom apparel website.
It really is.
You know, you think it's just about designing some cool clothes and putting up a website, but it's so much more than that. There are so many moving parts, and it's important to have a solid strategy in place.
Absolutely.
Speaking of strategy, I remember that article from Site Design and Now W. They talked about the importance of finding the right partners.
Oh, they did.
And it's not just about your web design team, it's about everyone you work with,
Right.
your fabric suppliers, your printing partners, your shipping providers. It's like building a dream team, right?
It is.
Each player brings their own expertise to the table, and you need to make sure that everyone's on the same page, working towards the same goal.
I couldn't agree more.
So how do you go about finding these amazing partners who are going to help you take your business to the next level?
Well, it starts with doing your research.
Let's go and network with other entrepreneurs in the industry, attend trade shows, read online reviews. Don't be afraid to ask for referrals.
So it's all about due diligence.
Exactly.
And when you're interviewing potential partners, what kind of questions should you be asking?
Ask about their experience, their production capabilities, their quality control processes, their commitment to sustainability, even their communication style.
So you're not just looking for someone who can do the job. You're looking for someone who's a good fit for your brand.
Precisely.
And someone who shares your values.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got our dream team assembled. Our website is up and running. We're marketing like crazy. We're providing amazing customer service. What's next?
Well, the journey doesn't end there. The long game is all about growth, innovation, and staying ahead of the curve.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you stay ahead of the curve?
Never stop learning.
Okay.
Read industry publications, attend conferences, follow thought leaders on social media, be a sponge for new ideas and information.
So it's all about continuous learning and improvement.
It is. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Right, exactly.
Try new things, see what works, what doesn't, and constantly iterate.
That's the key to success in any business.
Yeah.
But especially in the fast-paced world of e-commerce.
You know, it's been amazing taking this deep dive into the world of custom apparel.
It has.
I feel like we've covered so much ground, but I'm also realizing there's always more to learn.
There is always more to learn.
But I think we've given our listeners a really good foundation to build upon.
I hope so.
So before we wrap things up, I want to remind our listeners to check out that full article on Site Design and Now W's website.
It's a great resource.
It is, and they have some really valuable insights in there. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, but thanks for joining us on this deep dive into custom apparel.
It was a pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing,
And keep creating.